Let me express my sincere thanks to Bishop and the presiding Bishop of this area, Bishop Cunningham, to Pastor Bess, and Pastor, to Rich Pollock, and all the ministers who are here gathered, to Congressman Al Green, the real Al Green I am. It's a joy to be here with you today, and yet it's a joy amidst of so much pain, because the agenda of hope has been hijacked. Not long ago, President Barack Obama was elected to presidency. There's a certain kind of special moment for America and the world that will overcome so many layers of pain, trepidation, and violence. We've risen above ourselves and become better than we've ever been before, and did something that was earth-shattering. My heart rejoiced at night as tears flowed as I thought about the martyrs who had been killed to make that night possible. And I wish Dr. King and Edwards could have been there just for a moment to see the fruits of their labors. The whole world cried and rejoiced. The kind of midday in America. And then at high noon, our sun has been eclipsed by some toxic meanness that's now written down at the bottom of our society. Call the president stupid. Others say it's not a Christian challenging his religion. Others say he's a liar. Others say he's not born. All these attempts to marginalize him in his own way, violent rhetoric, and gives a certain permissiveness about him. Now we're seeing the devastating impact of race profiling and violence. A lot of focus later on the Trayvon Martin case in Santa Florida. His death, the handling of his killing, it's illuminated a certain darkness in our country. And now we must look at what it means and what to do in the face of it. One, I wish we could discuss the fact that in Texas, 1 of every 4 Texans, 1 of every 4, has no health insurance. 6.1 million Texans have no health insurance. 1.2 million Texas children have no health insurance. 3.5 million Texans are on food stamps. We should be grappling with those needs of the people, and yet we're sidetracked by rising race profiling and violence. Yesterday, after a global protest in 45 days, the killer, the admitted killer, Trayvon Martin, spent his first night in jail. It took 45 days to do an orderly process of the dispensation of justice. It really starts with suspending him unnecessarily from school. You throw our children away with no place to go. What do you do? A 10-day suspension for a 15-year child, except for them or her behind forever. Next, he goes to Sanford. And a really innocent thing, going to his father's house. And he is looked upon as a suspect, pursued against advice of the monitor. And then he is killed. He's in the morgue for 3 days with a John Doe in his toe, cell phone in his pocket, and the killer walks free. So it chills throughout the nation, throughout the world, and now we're now into another process. Let's not forget that Mr. Zimmerman represents a first down, not a touchdown, the beginning of a process. But far beyond him, the victory is not in how long he stays in jail. The victory is in repealing these draconian stand your ground, self-defense, vigilante laws, which are now in 24 states, including Secondly, revive the ban on assault weapons. We lost fewer than 6,000 soldiers in Iraq in 10 years, fewer than 6,000. We lose 30,000 Americans a year to gunfire. 100,000 a year were injured who did not die. A million Americans, a million that would kill us if not the king would kill, a million to gunfire. Not some foreign power. The self-destruct macho gun laws that takes us out to our own cities and towns across all the country. But there is some renewed commitment to stop the devastating impact of racial profiling, whether by police, prosecutors, judges, bankers, educators. The black and brown communities have been hit the hardest. Home foreclosure, because they were targeted in foreclosures driven by racial profiling. We as a nation must leave the pits of racial profiling. The good news is when we do rise to the heights of living together, we do great things together. When the big games are played on Sunday afternoon, why can we enjoy those games? We choose uniform color, not skin color. Why can we, when the Dallas plays Houston, we feel that special something? The winner wins and has a sense of rage. The loser loses but keeps his or her dignity. Because whenever the playing field is even, the rules are public, the goals are clear, the references are fair, we get along very well. There are too many uneven playing fields, creating too much crippling pain. While I'm concerned that we now look at what would be the route of travel for Mr. Zimmerman, 30 blacks have been killed this year. 30 at the hands of police, security guards. 30. 16 since Trayvon Johnson. That does not include Trayvon Martin, and that does not include Tulsa, Oklahoma. We must end the violence. I also reach out to white ministers. If ever there was a time that we should find some common ground and healing, it is now. The white church cannot see this as a black problem. We have a split sense of justice, and it's not serving us well. If whites kill blacks, it's revolt time. If blacks kill whites, it is jail time. If blacks kill blacks and whites kill whites, it's miller time. We must have a common standard where God brings the just and the unjust alike and stops the killing and end the violence. That is our appeal today. I hope that those who have been protesting with their hoodies, who have on their hoodie a voter card, use this as a transformative moment. Use this moment. Repeal this voter ID. Came out in the paper today. Texas put forth a voter ID scheme that has devastating impact upon ethnic minorities. Texas is once again fighting the Department of Justice over the question of easy access to voting. 45% of Texas state budget is federal. This state has no power to secede from the union. Texas highways, not federal government, Texas highways, is schools, Texas might as well join the union and live under one set of rules of all of us. I want to thank you for coming today. And I'll be open for Q&A, but I want Congressman Gray, who has been a leading voice in the Congress, appealing for us to end the incivility, to end easy access to guns, to end the self-defense laws and vigilante laws, to end the racial profiling, and learn to be civil in our relationship. I want to thank him. You mean so much to all of us, Congressman. Thank you.
A special letter of gratitude and thank you to Pastor Jackson for traversing the country to be with us here today. There are many places where he is needed, and he has chosen to be with us, and for this we will be eternally grateful. My comments will be brief, but I would like to, if I may start with 3 investigations. We have asked for 3 investigations. 1, investigate what happened to Trayvon. We need to know, and there has to be transparency in the trial so that we can find out what happened. 2, there has to be an investigation of the police department. We need to know how it is that probable cause exists some 45 days after his demise, but not exist on the night of his death. And the final investigation is an investigation that includes all of us. We have to investigate the circumstances within the United States of America that promote or promulgate or permit a Trayvon Martin circumstance to manifest itself. We have to find out. We have to talk to each other. There has to be dialogue. And And I am completely supportive of what Reverend Jackson said about bringing together pastors across various lines so that we can look each other in the eye and make some decision as to how we will go forward so as to prevent additional Trayvon Martins. Because my beautiful brothers and sisters, I regret to inform you, Trayvon is not the first Trayvon.
Right. That's right.
And I regret to inform you that if we don't make some changes, Trayvon won't be the last Trayvon.
That's right.
I came today specifically to talk about some of the things that created this crisis in our community, the African American community, because we've lost a generation of wealth as a result of what was called the financial crisis. Yes, there was profiling and targeting. There was something known as the yield spread premium. The yield spread premium probably has had its unfortunate circumstance imposed upon a person standing with us right here at this podium. Because the yield spread premium allowed a person who was a broker to qualify a person for a loan at, by way of example, 5%, and sell that person a loan for 8%, 9%, 10%, and never tell the person that he qualified or she qualified for 5%. This was a dastardly thing to do, and we found, as I sit on the Financial Services Committee, and we have had much empirical evidence presented to us, we found that African Americans were the primary victims of the yield spread premium. Many of these persons who find themselves on the water right now qualified for loans at prime, but were pushed into the subprime market by way of the yield spread premium. That was the message that I hope to bring today. But I brought multiple messages because when Reverend Jackson comes to town, he brings with him a sense of a need for you to step up to a higher level in your existence. For you to understand that while we have many things happening at the grassroots level, the solutions are going to lie in people becoming greater than themselves in the ordinary sense. So I want to be a part of what Push and Reverend Jackson, what they are bringing to our city. And I support him in what he is doing. And I'm honored to be here with these ministers today. Finally, on this question of health care. Reverend mentioned some of the numbers. In 2009, we had 6 billion people. We didn't have 6.1 million now. In 2009, we had here in Harris County 1.1 million people uninsured, 20% of the state's children uninsured. 2009, across this country, 45,000 people per year were dying because they did not have health insurance. It was a terrible time, 45,000 a month. It was a terrible time for us. But we right now in the state of Texas have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country, but the highest uninsured rate in the country. This means that people are working hard, working full-time, many living below the poverty line, and don't have insurance. In 2009, when we passed the health care law, we had 21 million people working full-time without insurance. That condition still exists here in the state of Texas. So we've got to do more. We've got to rise to a higher calling. And I'm honored that Reverend Jackson comes to town and elevates us to a higher level of existence so that we can take on some of the great problems of our time. God bless you, Reverend. Thank you for allowing me to be with you.
Reverend, let me indicate that tonight we're having at this church a 6 o'clock reception with the senior ministers of conference. And we're able to push at 6 and then mass rather than night at 7 o'clock here at the church. Let me hasten to say, Bishop Williamson at Cunningham, is that this is the same tree, just has several branches. Whether it's Trayvon being profiled, a homeowner's profile, a healthcare profile, a banking profile, all of it is illegal, immoral, expensive, and hurtful. We must address the bigger meaning of the Trayvon crisis, that we pull the scab off of the poison of profiling. We find a very deep and great answer. Thank you.
Reverend, here in the state of Texas, if I understand the law correctly, and Congressman Green, you used to be a JP, so I hope you'll correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have a stand your ground law, but we do have the Castle Doctrine. What are your thoughts on that? Any thoughts on the Castle Doctrine?
Thank you. The Castle Doctrine, as you know, has to do with one's home. But we've extended the Castle Doctrine beyond the home. And while we don't call it stand your ground, you might recall that the Castle Doctrine was used to justify a homicide in Pasadena, where 2 persons were shot outside of the man's home after the man was told not to go outside. If you listen to those tapes, you could hear him as he locked and loaded, and you could hear the shots being fired. So while they may not call it stand your ground, the essence of what's being done is the very same thing. And it's time for us to pull down stand your ground. It's time for us to make the castle what it has traditionally been, the person's home.
You can, on the one hand, fight for more stability and easier access to MK-16s and AK-47s. 11, they shot an AK-47 in the White House. This last 11, this past year. Getting the odds away, it bounced off the windows because they were the structure to a Santa hit. But someone had been on the balcony while celebrating getting killed 11. But much closer to the edge, we must make a decided effort. More guns make us less secure, not more secure. These stand your ground laws, castle laws, incentives for violence. There's an incentive for vigilantism, and we should pull back and go another way.
Reverend, I want to make sure I understand here. Are you also calling for the revocation, so to speak, of the Castle Doctrine in the state of Texas?
Absolutely. Not only that, common law is to protect your house. That doesn't require any macho. It's not about your house. It's about outside your house, basically. But more than that, the repeal is the 24 states have these civilians with more authority than trained police. They'll also allow civilians to have guns with more strength than police. I mean, the AK-47 semi-automatic weapons, we were about to ban on so. And then also, it's disproportionately aimed at black and brown people, and that's not right.
Reverend, you witnessed a lot in your lifetime as far as race relations in this country. Statistics show that there are more and more interracial marriages going on in America now. Younger generations are a little bit more tolerant. Do you feel that these are the last remnants of real hardcore racism in this country, or is there still a long ways to go?
Well, what I think is a wave of hope. There is an undercurrent of fear in toxic communities. That's why I was so disturbed that those who dare run for president this time around, including Governor Perry, Santorum, and the like, to use those platforms to make us less afraid, to make us more civil. They use that energy to attack immigrants. You do know that Jesus did go to Egypt as a refugee and as an immigrant. You know he was born in the mountains under controversy about who his dad was. You do know he was among the minority in the slum. That's the leader was an immigrant, was a refugee. And those attacks on destroying families was beneath the best of our leadership. President's not a Christian, challenging his authenticity, his religion. He's not an American. These are attacks by the highest levels who aspire to become America's president. That acid has rained down to the bottom. We now see the impact of a new spirit of fear and meanness. We are trying to get better. When I go to a given ball game and see us choose a uniform color or skin color, direction of a complexion, we're trying to get better. But leadership is a character leader choosing the 10th Amendment, trying to take us back to states' rights. Where the majority puts tyranny on the minority. We cannot go back to states' rights. We must choose a more perfect union and live as a nation under one flag and one set of rules. In the state of Texas, one of the issues raised by the Department of Justice on the voting thing, if you're a student in this state, you cannot vote if you have a student ID. You can vote if you have a gun ID. Why put a gun ID over a student out there in College County? Isn't this the same state that's up in the tower shooting, killing people in the tower in University of Texas? When will we ever learn?
Pastor, this is just for edification purposes. In the state of Texas, there was some empirical evidence found indicating that we were having problems with absentee voting, and the legislature convened and decided to impose laws that relate to voting at the actual ballot box, So like finding out that you've got a problem of, say, motorcycles speeding through a community, and you decide that you're going to legislate on semi-tractor trailers, that sort of thing. It's been unbelievable the way they have managed to take empirical evidence and distort it in such that it can be used for other purposes.
Let me think, as we go from here tonight, also tomorrow, meet with ministers and officials, hope and multiracial setting. We might make some big choices: nonviolence or non-existence. It's a big choice for the church. In Christ, there's no black, no white, just wrong and right. We must choose that which is right. And something that we seldom said, to use the word love and poverty. Those who love will defend the poor, deliver the needy, be less violent and more civil. That's our mission. We're glad that Zimmerman is now in the judicial process. But this is just the beginning of a long process. It could be a very political process, as people choose trying to make Zimmerman some kind of counter-hero, counter-cultural hero. We hope this trial is done quickly and effectively, but it's not just about, it'd be like in the case of Rosa Parks, if we locked up the bus driver and didn't get the sign up on the driver's head to pull up the real whites on the front. We would have missed it. The real point was the law empowered the bus driver to have it locked up. We must get beyond just Zimmerman to these voter ID, and the same people who finance Sandy Brown, finance voter ID, and finance voter suppression. And now they're using something called super PAC, where they undermine one person, one vote, and destroy democracy. But too few control too much, and leave too many wondering about that into our mission. Thank you very much. Last one.
Reverend, I want to clarify something to make sure we understand your position on the Castle Doctrine. Would you call for the repeal of the Castle Doctrine? I mean, essentially, this is what allows you to defend yourself if somebody breaks into your house. Are you calling for the repeal of that, or?
That's not what we discussed, by the way. We discussed repealing these Sandy Brown laws. Not the same as defend your house is almost common law. We're not talking about your house, we're talking about your yard. You're talking about the suspicion somebody might be scaring you. I mean, don't take us off point. What is that? 24 states, the Sandy Brown law. More and more states making easy access to have semi-automatic weapons. We should rely on a ban on assault weapons. More and more places using